As you know, a second defendant has been charged with the murder of Tyshawn Lee. This defendant, Dwight Boone Doty, also known just as Doty, has been charged with the murder of Breonna Jenkins and the attempted murder of Deshari Bowens. A short time ago, my office proffered the following facts about this case, and I will read them to you now. Breonna Jenkins and Tyshawn Lee's deaths are the result of a gang war between a faction of the Black Peace Stones and the Killingof faction of the Gangster Disciples. There has been a history between the two gangs for a long period of time, but it came to a head as a result of the shooting that occurred last fall on October 13th, 2015. In that shooting, Tracy Morgan was shot and killed while he was in a car with his mother, who was also shot and wounded. Tracy Morgan is the brother of co-defendant Corey Morgan, who has also been charged with Tyshawn's murder. Shortly after the shooting, Corey Morgan stated that since his brother was killed and his mother had been shot, he was going to kill grandmas, mothers, and children. Morgan, Doty, and another uncharged co-defendant were all members of the Black Peace Stones, and they began going out daily, armed with guns, looking to retaliate. At one point, Doty set up a surveillance of Tyshawn's grandmother so he could kill her in order to draw out rival gang members. He also stated that his original plan was to torture this child by kidnapping and cutting off his fingers and his ears. On October 18th, 2015, Breonna Jenkins and Deshari Bowens were seated in a car in the area of 78th and Honorary. Believing that Bowens was a rival gang member, Doty is alleged to have walked up to the vehicle and fired multiple shots into the car, striking and killing Breonna and also striking Deshari. Doty later stated that he did not even know who was in the car, but when he and an uncharged co-defendant drove by the car, he saw dreadlocks on Deshari and believed that he was a rival gang member. Doty later stated that after killing Breonna and shooting Deshari, that he reloaded the gun and carried it around. He was later arrested by Chicago police while in possession of multiple guns and charged with possession of those guns. The guns were tested by the crime lab, and one was found to be the murder weapon in the case of Breonna Jenkins and the shooting of Deshari Bowens. On November 2nd, 2015, Doty and the same two co-defendants were seeking further gang retaliation when they arrived at Dawes Park at 80th and Damon. They eventually saw 9-year-old Tyshawn Lee, who was in the play lot at the park. Tyshawn had gone to the swing set his basketball down, and was playing on the swings. Morgan and the third defendant left the play lot and drove away in an SUV, and Doty stayed behind in the playground area. Doty then picked up Tyshawn's basketball and began dribbling it a few times before giving it back to Tyshawn. He then asked the child if he wanted to go to the store. When Tyshawn said he didn't have any money, Doty told him he would buy him whatever he wanted. Tyshawn and Doty were then seen walking off together out of the park and into a nearby alley. Once they reached the middle of the alley, Doty took out a gun and shot Tyshawn multiple times at close range. This defendant was facing the child when he shot him. He later made statements that he had, and I quote, "Seen that bitch go in his head. And Shorty, he was like he couldn't take it no more. Shorty couldn't take it no more," unquote. This defendant also later stated that after he murdered Tyshawn, he wanted to go back to the park and shoot it up. The police, unfortunately, the police were already there, and he couldn't go back, and he should have killed all the kids in the park. After the murder, the three defendants are alleged to have gone to a Walmart where they purchased bleach and proceeded to wipe down the inside and outside of the vehicle before taking the vehicle to a location where they abandoned it. This defendant also stated that he had been working on a rap song in which he talks about his killing of Tyshawn Lee.